Hello and welcome back to Pittsburgh Vader. I'm going to start this video off by removing the tail light and finally replacing that burnt out reverse bulb. I've gotten a few comments about it. It's not really a huge deal, but it's kind of annoying, so I'm just going to pull that out real quick, go buy a bulb, and then just swap it out. I just got back from Pep Boys. I picked up some gold body filler and some new bulbs for the tail lights, the reverse lights. I'm just going to replace both since I have them anyways. The other one doesn't need it, but might as well do it now that I have them. Also, since the kit is now bonded down, I don't have to worry about breaking the gas bucket off when I put the kit on. I can now cut the bottom out of this and slide the top through, bond that down, and then the way I'm going to be bonding this to there is I'm going to take some fiberglass reinforced body filler, put it all along the edge, and then I'm going to hold this up from underneath and screw it through, let it dry, and then once it's dry I'll remove the screws and then use the same kind of body filler and stuff to strengthen it up some more and then smooth it out and everything, do the work, and then install the gas cap. Okay, there we go. The hole has been cut. The gas runs right through. And now I have to cut the old hinge off the old gas cap and find a way to mount that to the new gas cap. And then that bolts on right here. I showed in a different video how you have to cut this hole out so the mechanism for the hinge can open and close properly. So I'm going to cut that off and try to get it to fit. Now that I have the gas cap inside the bucket where it needs to be, I just set it in there. I'm going to come down here, and if you remember, I had a lot of excess hose, so I'm going to figure out exactly where that needs to be, cut it, and then install it on the bottom, and then I can bond this down to where it needs to be. Alright, so I still have to keep trimming a little bit, but this is basically what you need to do. I ran it back, cut it basically to length, and then ran it onto those. I need to cut more off because that's way too far down, but I just didn't want to take off too much at once because once you take it off, you can't add back. So I'm just going a little bit at a time and making sure I get the right amount. And then after I figure out exactly how long it needs to be, I can bond this down to the hole and everything and get the cap on, and then basically just have a working gas cap. So now that I have the hose basically to length, I'm going to try to bond this to the bottom of this, and hopefully when it's done I'll be able to make the line exactly how it should be and there will be no problem. So I'll show you guys how I do that. And there we go. I just spread some of this fiberglass stuff on the outside edge, and I'm using 3 just self-tapping screws to hold it in for now. Once it's dry, I'll take those back out and fill in the holes. But for now, looking great. I have to install the cap still, but now I have a gas cap on the car. While I let that dry, I'm gonna come over to the door, and to adjust it, so I didn't want to swing out as far, so what I did is there's these little screws on the side that you screw all the way in, so when you swing the door out, it stops it by hitting that back there. So that will bring it so it only swings out about this far. but right now it won't swing up because of this bar here. I took it off on the other one already. I'm gonna take this one off, and I need to figure out exactly where to cut it so that when the door only swings out this far, I can still swing it up and there are no issues. Alright, so unfortunately I forgot to press record when I put the first shock in, but it's pretty simple. These holes on the side of the shock are threaded. I just put in the first one, and then it comes with these mounting plates. I put one of them here. Shock just screws right on, and I only put one of them on now because I don't have any of the insides in the door, but once I get the insides in the door, I'll be adding a second one. But basically, well, it did raise the door a little bit more with the shock. That's fine, because once you put the weight of the stuff in the door, it'll push it back down to where it needs to be. So I'm not too worried about that. I can always mess with the adjustments on the hinge and everything. But for now, all you got to do is you swing the door open, and it doesn't have that stopper yet, so it can still swing up where it's not supposed to, but I'll put that back. But for now, basically you just lift up and the door goes up on its own. And I still have to do the other side, but for now, I think that's a good angle for it. Might go down a little bit more, but I want it to be easy to still get in and out of the car. And for now, I'm just gonna leave it like that and see what I can do for the other side. But yeah, that's it. Alright, so to modify the stopper for it, I just put it back on, measured where I need to cut. So I'm gonna take it back off, cut that off, and then bolt it back on, and it should be good to go. Alright, I'm going to come back to the back of the car again. I still have this center tail light, the third brake light thing, that I have to test fit back here. I didn't drill any holes for it yet, so I'm going to do that now and start to get this back area situated. Alright, I only have one bolt on the back, so it's not sitting exactly how it should, but not terrible. I have to adjust that side a little more, and I think I'm going to have to bring either the tail lights out more or the brake light in, but for a first test fit, not bad at all. I'll make it work, don't worry, and I will be tinting both of the tail lights so they will match eventually. Okay, so I am jumping around a little bit this video just to get a lot of this stuff done. I'm trying to do as much as I can in the shortest amount of time possible, pretty much. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come to the door, the trunk hinges, and try to install those, get the trunk working without the shocks for now, and just get the hinges working and everything for that. I have these backing plates which I drilled out, and I have bolts and nuts to go through those. They just go straight. So this goes on to the outside of the body, and then this will go behind it, and you just bolt the two together and you should be good. Alright, so I got the one hinge installed. I was going to do the other, but it looks like it's about to rain, so I'm going to pull the car back inside so it doesn't get wet. And I'm not sure if I'm going to have room in the garage to still get in here and do this, but I'll figure it out once I get it inside. Okay, so I put it in the garage. Right now there's really not a ton of room back here to work, so I'm gonna wait an hour or so and see if the rain stopped, or if it even rains at all actually, and if it clears back up, seems fine, I'll pull it back outside and keep working on it. But if not, that's the end of this video. So thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one. If not, this will just switch to the rest of the video. What?